I already have my dark purple and white on here. Now, I don't know if you can see this. This is my pattern. I've written out how many threads for purple, white, and this one I'm calling lavender. So there aren't that many lavender. There's only a total of 10 in each repeat of the pattern. So with these, what I've done is I've looped it around just so it holds on and doesn't fall on the floor. And since this is for the entire width of the loom, I'm going to do it right here. Alright, so this is my cross, and you're going to hold it in your hand like this. You want to be able to have your threads
do that again.
Stacked. Okay, this is how it was, and you put it in here. And this is my extra one, my 25th one. It's hanging funny. Okay, so you take your scissors. I have to adjust my stool here. Okay, you take your scissors.
Slow, do it slow.
And you cut. And cut off that knot because it doesn't matter. Alright, now these two will pull off. And then you very carefully, I have it upside down, you very carefully cut your center yarn and these two. Now if you've done yarn further down on this, you just cut them off as you get there. Otherwise you leave them in place and they'll slide down. Okay, so you can see how my yarn is stacked. This is the tool that you use to warp. Now according to my pattern, I need 15 purple, 1 white, 3 purple, 3 white, 3 purple, 1 white, 15 purple, and then 5 lavender. And that's where I'm at. Okay? You can see them interspersed. They're going to lay all over each other, and they're going to look really, really tangled, but it all comes through. The important thing is do not skip. You have to be very, very careful and have plenty of good lighting. You will also notice that my loom has a bungee cord here because I am holding the reed in place, so it's not leaning against my heddles and it's not leaning against my front arm. It's just sitting there, slightly movable, but not really. Okay, so after my second set of 15 purple, I'm going to do 5 lavender, and then after my second set of white, I do 5 lavender. So that's where we are here. And again, you can look at the picture of the plaid to see exactly where I'm at. So the way that this is leaning, you pull off that top set of 3 threads. You reach behind the reed. Can you see under my arm? And you pull it through. I pull it through a long ways because I don't want it to accidentally come out.
We're going to do a couple on this side, you doing that, and then we'll do the other side.
Okay. All right, so here's your second one. You don't have to be quick at this. I've seen videos of people who can completely manipulate this with their hands here. They do all this one-handed. I can't do that. I do this very slow and methodically, and I've only once had a threading error. Okay. And as you do that, just pull it through and keep your yarn where it's most comfortable for you so that you don't pull it out accidentally.
Okay.
Okay, here's number 3. I'm sorry, that's number 4. I have 4 through there, and then 5. And you're constantly double checking your pattern, making sure you haven't miscounted, because if you've miscounted, you've got to fix it right then. Okay, so here you can see my pattern. I've got 15 purple, 1 white, 3 purple, 3 white, 3 purple, 1 white, 15 purple. Okay? Then here we have the 5 lavender that I just put in. Then we have 15 white, and then here's a gap. And in that gap, we're going to put 1 purple, 3 white, 1 more purple. There's my other gap. We now have 15 white. And then we do 5 more lavender, and that's the end of 1 repeat of this pattern. Okay, so I lift it off, and if you keep your hand tight around this and do not lose any threads, you will always have the top thread. And remember, if you make an error, it's got to be fixed. You can't fudge it.
Slow.
You can't pretend it isn't there because it's really obvious. Okay, so here we are mostly done with one repeat. Now I want to set these down, but I don't want them to get tangled. So I'm going to take a clothespin and I'm going to put it right on the cross. And that doesn't mean it's held really that tightly. You have to be careful. Make sure that as you pull it back, you're not pulling out what you've already done. And you take that cross, and I'm going to very carefully lay it to the side. You can see I've got 2 threads from white here because I miscounted. I have to put those in the next place. So here's my lavender, and that's sitting there, and it's not going to be bothered. Now, see, you rehook that. What is going on? Sometimes you just have to adjust. Okay, so I've done one complete of my pattern with the exception of these 2 purples that go in here. So I'm going to start back with my purple and do it again. So I'm on my second grouping. So once again, this has been hanging here, but I know where my cross is. It's right there. And you put your fingers around it, grab your scissors, and cut. Making sure it's extended so it's straight because you don't want to waste. Look at that. Okay? And then you pull off these 2. And you cut the one on the cross. And the 2 there. You pick up your little tool. Alright, so we're going to go back. Okay, 15, 3, 3, 15, 15 white, and then 1 purple right in there. It's a very thin stripe. So you lift off that top one, and you come back in here. Now I have my loom marked, so I knew where to start. I have a little bitsy thread there, and I have another one there, and up top, this is the center of my reed. Now you can do it wider, but I've discovered that anything outside of those 2 marks will fall off the back, and I'll show you what I mean as we're winding it on. So I know what my starting point is. I can totally warp from left to right. I don't have to count outward from the center. Okay, and now I'm going to start my pattern repeat with my 15. So when we come back, all of these will be filled in, and then I'll show you how to put them through the heddles in the back and then wind it on